Chainsaw Man is absolutely insane, and I love it. Forget about any show you've seen before. Forget the tropes, the cliches, the characters, just throw it all out the window because Chainsaw Man refuses to follow a single rule. It's bloody, loud, fast, crazy, insane, and so chaotic. Chainsaw Man is shonen at its finest, and its use of God's greatest gift is surprisingly genius. Chainsaw Man does everything wrong, yet somehow it works. I mean, two of the most important characters in the entire show are called Chainsaw Man and Katana Man. Creative, I know. The main character isn't motivated by some past tragedy or sense of justice, he just wants to get laid. None of this should work, but it does, and it's incredible. But why? Why does this work? How can a show about a teen whose main goal is to fondle blubber nuggets capture an audience? How can a show about a chunky little Pokemon as a heart actually make me sad? Why is this guy barking? Did she just puke? And are they kissing now? Why is she naked? Are those zombies? Did he really cut off one of his nuts? What is happening in the show, and how is it so goddamn entertaining? Welcome to Chainsaw Man, where the only way to survive is to be absolutely insane. The show starts kinda how most animes do. Our main protagonist Denji is stuck in a brutal situation, basically living off of a slice of bread a day. He finds a devil, and befriends it. Together, the two kill other devils so Denji can pay off a debt he inherited from good old dad. Nothing like financially crippling your children, am I right? It goes exactly how you'd expect, and of course, Denji's killed by the Yakuza. For his death, Denji explains how he doesn't want a lavish apartment, he doesn't want to be president, he just wants a normal life, and along the way he wouldn't mind being laid. So Pochita does what every loving devil pet would do by inserting himself into his owner and turning him into a triad of chainsaws. Cue epic fighting montage, and hey, I think I've seen this before. Now at this point in watching I was like, meh, action's cool, Pochita's death was really well done, but I really need a hook. And then, I got one. Pochita gave up his life so Denji could live out his dreams, and it's powerful. Remember, he doesn't want a great power, he's not trying to save the world, he just wants to live a normal life. After he kills what looks like hundreds of zombies, he's saved by his new waifu Makima, and she forces Denji to become an official devil hunter for public safety. Basically, a devil cop. Stop it. Denji then meets his new partner Aki, and together the two kill a devil, but Aki scolds him for not taking his job serious enough. See, most people in public safety are motivated by a goal like some great revenge against a devil or the need for money, but not Denji. He's just kinda there. And at this moment, Denji decides his new goal. He wants to fondle breast. Now, normally this wouldn't work. It seems like such a random motivation, but for Denji, it's perfect. He doesn't have any absurd goal, just like he doesn't want a lavish life. He's perfectly content with just 3 meals a day and a bed to come home to. That's it. It's honestly a really powerful motivation if you think about it. So many people get caught up chasing these larger-than-life aspirations that they can't enjoy the little things in life. Now, obviously, Denji's a little over-exaggerated, but still, the fact that he just wants to squeeze milkers and is perfectly fine with a normal life is refreshing. After this, Denji meets a new devil named Power who, oh my, I'm sure that'll be important later. Makima asks the two to get along, and Power just sort of haphazardly agrees, but Denji, he's motivated by something else. Power can tell what Denji wants, so she tells him if he can save her cat, she'll let him fondle her. And of course, Denji agrees. They end up at the Bat Devil's house, who has Power's cat inside, but Power does her best dominatrix impression and knocks Denji unconscious. And like, come on, would Denji really complain about this? Regardless, the Bat Devil drinks Denji's blood to heal himself before betraying Power and swallowing the cat. Of course, Denji survives and saves both Power and the Bat Devil, but then another devil appears. This time, it takes both of Denji's arms and he's left with a small little chainsaw on his head. Now, most people would give up after this. You've got a 3-inch blade sticking out of your head, and despite what most people might argue, 3 inches really doesn't have any penetration power. Most people would give up, but not Denji. He's got titties on the line. He fights harder than most mothers would for their children, and ultimately, Aki saves him. But he still saved Power and even her cat, so she lets him fondle her. Earlier in the story, there was a scene right after Denji was saved, where he lathered toast with about every spread you could think of. It seems in character for Denji, but nothing more than a small little detail. But I think it perfectly captures the genius of Denji's mindset and goals. He's not eating the toast covered in every spread because he enjoys it, he's just eating it because he can. Because Denji has the option to use 7 different spreads for a single piece of toast now, he does. It's his dream to live a normal life, to eat normal food, and of course it's better than his life before, but you really never see him getting enjoyment out of his new lifestyle. The same thing happens when he fondles power. Denji expects it to be some enlightening experience, finally achieving a dream he's chased for so long, but it's not. Sometimes we get so caught up in chasing our dreams, expecting them to result in something life-changing when, most of the time, nothing really changes. Denji became more obsessed with the chase than he actually was with the outcome, and I think that trend will continue throughout the rest of the show. After his precious 3 squeezes, he asks, "Is that all?" Clearly disappointed, or at least let down. Denji shares his frustration with Makima, who, yeah. Denji definitely wants some of that. So he makes a new goal, not to take revenge against the Yakuza, not to squeeze more of nature's natural milkers, but he goes for it all. He wants to get laid, and to do so, he only has to kill a devil responsible for killing millions of people in just a few minutes. But hey, this isn't just about titties anymore. So, using a piece of an ancient devil that's extraordinarily powerful, Denji has to find more pieces of that ancient devil in order to summon that ancient devil to then beat that ancient devil. Now, I'm gonna stop here with all the summary. If you haven't seen it by now, then what are you doing? Go watch it. And if you have, you already know 90% of what I'm talking about. Chainsaw Man does plenty of things incredibly, but this video is only about one of those: titties. So, when Makima tells Denji he needs to understand his partner so his experience is more enjoyable, he justifiably agrees. In a world filled with social media and dating apps, hookups are kinda everywhere. Now, of course, it depends on the person, but 95% of the time these hookups are just that: one-night stands that never really amount to anything. The 2 minutes you might last are fun, but that's it. You don't have emotion invested in the person, you're really just there for the hookup. But Chainsaw Man argues if you really get to know someone in a substantial and meaningful way, those 2 minutes mean a lot more. And I don't want to tell you guys how to live your life, and honestly, I don't think there's a problem with either. But I think Chainsaw Man purposely makes the point that hookups are readily available for everyone, but there's a reason they're not for everyone. That's why Denji declines a one-night stand with Aki's partner. Well, that and he's underage. Plus, he's got a new waifu he's saving himself for. After this, the show really starts to pick up. The villains stop messing around, and before you know it, half the cast is dead. Veterans who've successfully hunted devils for years, gone. Promising young recruit who you thought might stay part of the main group, dead. Shy, timid girl who really hasn't done anything but whine and cry, well, actually, she's alive and might actually be kinda cool. The point is, no one is safe in this world. At any point in time, you could be shot, murdered, eaten, cut up, or die in any other brutal death just because you were in someone's way. Everyone is extremely vulnerable, and at any minute, you could just be gone. Partners, friends, lovers, no one is safe and anyone can die. And this world's relentless cruelty makes Denji's motivations even more genius. For his entire life, he was stuck trying to survive every single day. The amenities that you and I take for granted, like electricity, safety, entertainment, those aren't even an afterthought for Denji. The only thing he can afford to worry about is food. And when he's finally able to sufficiently feed himself every day without having to worry, he doesn't need any more. Sure, he might want to fondle a breast or two, but that's about it. He's content with what he has, even if it's just basic necessities. Tomorrow, you're gonna go to work or school. You're gonna work as hard as you can, or maybe just trudge through the day. You're gonna get home, let whatever hobbies you enjoy occupy the rest of your day, and go to sleep. You might be happy with your life, or you might hate it. Regardless, you probably want more. You probably want better grades, or you want to be rich. And I mean, who doesn't? But how come the food you eat every night, the luxury of life that you get to live, how come that isn't enough? Now, Chainsaw Man's main point isn't to shame you for wanting more, and neither is mine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting more. But what about what you already have? How often do you go downstairs, find whatever snack you feel like eating, consume it, and instantly forget about it 2 minutes later? Denji savors every bite of toast, never once taking it for granted. He lathers it in every spread, enjoying every single bite he takes. Look at your surroundings. What's around you? Maybe a bed, a desk, maybe a body pillow covered in a mysterious dried liquid? Now stand up. Take a step. Maybe it hurts to walk and maybe it doesn't, but eventually it will. Eventually, you won't be able to walk at all. That bed you might be in, that you sleep in every night, millions of people will never get to sleep in a bed like that. And that body pillow, the one covered in years of a dried salt buildup, not everyone has the luxury of falling asleep with it. It seems ridiculous for a character's main motivation to be a pair of fat on any given woman, but Chainsaw Man makes it work. As of right now, the show isn't some ridiculously convoluted message about war, race, and resistance, because it doesn't need to be. It's just pure entertainment. You're getting almost exactly what you expect with Chainsaw Man. Unwavering entertainment surrounded by relentless chaos and insanity. Mappa's done a great job with anime recently, and Chainsaw Man is just another phenomenal addition to an an already stacked lineup. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, Dororo, and so much more have all been beautifully animated. Honestly, I don't know how the workers they underpay and overwork are able to keep up, but somehow MAPPA just isn't missing. Now, I would like to preface, I've not read the manga for Chainsaw Man, and I'm assuming a lot of people here haven't either. I do read most of, if not every comment, so please, if you're gonna spoil the show for me, then at least try to not spoil it for anyone else. Also, since I've not read the manga, 90% of what I said could be completely wrong. I have no idea how Chainsaw Man's story is gonna change. Maybe boobs won't be as vital in the later episodes. Maybe characters' motivations will change. Or maybe they'll just butcher the ending, going back on almost everything the show and characters stood for. Maybe. Regardless, right now this show is crazy. The characters are insane and their motivations are so perfectly random it's incredible, but they also make sense. Denji's been broke and forced to hunt devils for his youth, so yeah, of course he's insane. Aki's watched everyone he cares about die, so it makes sense he's hellbent on killing a devil he know he can't beat. The CGI is astounding and sometimes even better than the drawings. From the subtle walking to the fluidity of a character's movements, this show looks and feels great. I really can't give Chainsaw Man enough credit for just being a good time. Obviously, it's not for everyone, and maybe everything I've said is just a reach, because drawing parallels between real life and Chainsaw Man through a character's want to squeeze tits sounds absurd, and it is, but Chainsaw Man allows me to think like this. It encourages viewers to really enjoy the little things, to not just live in a comfortable routine, but to actually challenge yourself. Friends, life, all of that can change in an instant. Today you can comfortably watch this video, but tomorrow you or someone you know could be hospitalized. Life can change in an instant, and Chainsaw Man encourages you to truly enjoy what you have. But if Denji can be happy eating just bread, then maybe we're just overthinking this whole life thing. Maybe it's not so bad. Sub, like, comment, all that BS. Thank you for watching, and please go watch Vinland Saga. That show needs way more attention for how absolutely amazing it is.